Thank you for watching Queen the Greatest, a look back at some of the extraordinary songs, performances and achievements that Queen have given us over the last 50 years. By the end of 1974, Queen had enjoyed success in the singles charts, released 3 albums and were established as a headlining act in the UK. Yet the band's ambitions did not stop there. Their sights were firmly set on performing abroad, and remarkably, interest in other countries was already starting to grow, helped by Killer Queen charting well in Belgium, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Ireland and the US. However, as early as 1973, Queen had already performed in Germany and Luxembourg, and so when the Sheer Heart Attack tour came round in late 74, there were naturally some overseas dates, and this time Scandinavia would become Queen's new destination. Although the touring schedule didn't allow much time for sightseeing, each trip was an exciting new experience for these young musicians and often full of surprises. One such surprise occurred at the press conference ahead of the band's performance in Helsinki, Finland on November the 25th. Amongst the usual journalists, TV and radio presenters, clutching a small tape recorder was Juha Kukuri, a 12-year-old boy.
What do you like about Finland?
Oh, what? Straight away. Oh, what do I like about Finland? Well, I've only been here one day, and I like your shops and everything. It's so cold.
Yes, I know. What do you play in Queen?
I play drums and I do a lot of singing as well.
Oh, then you have to be very strong.
Yeah, you have to be very fit. Yeah.
The day before I met them, I heard a song called Brighton Rock, which is the opening track on Sheer Heart Attack. And it was so good that I immediately decided that I want to get autographs of these guys.
And that your album is very good.
You like it, do you?
Yes.
Yeah?
And yesterday in Radio Comes Deeper, I like it. It's very good.
Which one? Brighton Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very sort of stage number, that is. That's more like what we're on stage, you know, with a guitar solo in the middle.
I called EMI Finland, and thinking, of course, that they know all the rock stars in person, I just asked them to connect me with a person who's taking care of the business of a rock group called Queen. And my phone call was connected, and a man named Uffe Arenberg answered, and I explained that it was such a good song that I want to get their autographs. And he told me that later today there is a press conference and you can come there and get the autographs. I don't know where I got the idea that if it's a press conference, you also have to interview them. So I took my little C cassette recorder with me, and as I told you, the day before, I hadn't even heard of the band.
Have you heard our albums and things? What do you think of that?
No.
No. Records? You haven't heard that either?
No, I haven't.
Well, how come you... Don't worry. Not to worry.
They acted very professionally, and as I said, they were very polite. And of course, they didn't know why I was there. Maybe they thought that I'm doing it for a kids program or something like that.
Do you like just any candy?
Well, yeah, I like most of it really, yeah. What do I like best? I like Black Magic chocolates. And chocolate penguins. Chocolate penguins.
Oh.
I remember each band member, how they looked, and many details. John Deacon had bought new shoes from Helsinki, and I still remember how the shoes looked like.
May I make you some questions?
Yes.
Well, what do you like about Finland?
Finland, the shoes. I've bought a new pair of shoes here. Mainly for when I get back to England. When it's very cold in the winter, these will keep me warm. Because they wear these, don't they, a lot of the kids?
I remember when A Night at the Opera was released, and I listened to it with my mother. And then she was listening to the tracks, and then she said, I think you were very lucky when you did that interview.
I think your band is best band. Oh, what do you like?
Well, I mean, it's nice of you to say that, but are you going to come see us tonight?
I'm really sorry, but do you know I have to go to guitar school. And
Not to worry, not to worry.
The interesting thing is that the first band member I interviewed was Freddie. I mean, I didn't know he was the lead singer. He could have been the bass player or the drummer. But I happened to interview Freddie first. And during my career in radio, I've met a lot of big stars, Robbie Williams, Rolling Stones, people like that. But still, I think that nothing can top the experience that the first person you have interviewed at the age of 12 is Freddie Mercury.
Juha wasn't the only person in Finland that Queen left a big impression on, and even though the band never performed there again with Freddie, the fan base remained solid and continued to grow, evidenced by the enthusiastic response Brian and Roger enjoyed when they did return to Helsinki with Adam Lambert in 2016.
This is a momentous occasion, coming back to Finland after all this time. Thank you for an incredible reception. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
As we will witness with so many other countries throughout our Queen the Greatest series, from the very beginning the band had an extraordinary ability to form a deep and special bond with fans all over the world that endures to this very day.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, "We will